Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several people are feared to be dead after a pair of military helicopters crash in southwestern Kentucky. And the people of Nashville gathered to remember the lives of the 6 people killed in a tragic school shooting.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday. I'm Dakota Maker. It's almost 5 o'clock here. Thanks for waking up with us. Let's take it on over to Brandon for a look at that forecast this morning. Brandon, and I want to apologize. My allergies are already bothering me this morning. So if I sound stuffy or if I sneeze, you've been warned.
I understand. But it's another nice day out there today. A little chilly this morning, but otherwise not looking too bad. Let's take a look at our hazard camera downtown this morning at Triangle Park. 34 here in town as we head through. Not too much going on to start your day. Temperatures anywhere from the low 30s down toward Jonesville and Clintwood, Grundy as well, to the upper 30s there. Jackson, Prestonsburg, and Logan all at 39. Monticello's at 38 this morning along with Pikeville. Your out-the-door forecast, one more nice day, so get out there and enjoy it. May need a little extra coffee as you head out the door this morning. 64 this afternoon. It's going to be a beautiful day, but changes are on the way. Dakota?
We begin this morning with breaking news out of the southwestern part of the state, where several people are feared to be dead after 2 helicopters from Fort Campbell crashed in Trigg County. The crash happened just before 10 o'clock Wednesday night when crew members were flying 2 HH-60 Blackhawk helicopters during a routine training mission. Those helicopters were with the 101st Airborne Division. Fort Campbell officials have not confirmed any deaths or the conditions of the crew members. Kentucky State Police are assisting with the military investigation along with several other agencies. Governor Andy Beshear issued a statement about the crash overnight, asking everyone to pray for all those who may be affected. We'll keep you updated on the situation as we learn more. And it's my understanding there will be a news conference later this morning, and we'll try to bring you that on our Facebook page. The people of Nashville came together last night at a candlelight vigil to honor the 6 lives lost during the Covenant school shooting. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden was there to represent the White House. She's also visited the growing memorial of flowers and stuffed animals outside of the school. It came as city officials and investigators are revealing new information about that day. Jared Hill reports.
First Lady Jill Biden laid flowers at a memorial outside the Covenant School, honoring the 6 victims of Monday's tragic mass shooting.
Tears of grief.
And Mrs. Biden attended a vigil as the city came together to mourn and try to heal.
I so wish we did not need to be here, but we need to be here together.
We're learning more about what happened that day. A city official says head of school Catherine Kuntz may have confronted the shooter, who's believed to have entered the building while Kuntz was on a Zoom meeting.
The witness told me that Catherine Kuntz heard the shots, ended the Zoom call immediately, and abruptly left that meeting and left her office.
Police also revealed more information about the suspect, who was shot and killed by 2 responding officers.
The suspect was in an upper level. We believe there's been some training of being able to shoot from a higher level.
Monday's tragic school shooting has reignited the debate over what can or should Congress do about gun control.
How many children must be killed until we do the right thing?
Ultimately, I think what this does is highlight some of the mental health issues, the mental health crisis we have in this country.
Passions spilled over into the halls of Capitol Hill.
Children are dying. 9-year-old children.
President Biden has called on Congress to reinstate the ban on assault weapons, although that's not likely in a divided Congress. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Nashville police are still trying to determine a motive for Monday's shooting, though they have said they believe the suspect had other planned targets in the city, including a local mall. The police chief said authorities were not aware Hale was under doctor's care for an emotional disorder. Kentucky education leaders are taking a closer look at school safety after that shooting. Investigators say the shooter was able to shoot through the doors of the elementary school. Kentucky Department of Education Commissioner Dr. Jason Glass says that every time a school shooting takes place, there is an analysis of security measures. He says there's not just one solution to these events.
I wish I had easy answers. There aren't any. When we look at one of the major challenges is the easy availability of weapons in our country. The United States is a vast outlier when it comes to mass murders and school shootings, and we're a vast outlier when it comes to how easy it is to acquire firearms. So that's, I think, something that we're going to have to wrestle with as a country.
The commissioner has a student advisory council that has presented its recommendations to improve school safety. Those recommendations include promoting a stop tip line, improving intervention rates, and supporting gun control. Emotions ran high at the state capitol yesterday after the General Assembly voted to override Governor Andy Beshear's veto of the controversial legislation opponents call anti-transgender. The House moved to override the veto 76-23. Not long after, the Senate moved along a similar majority to override 29-8. This happened as a group chanted in protest outside the chambers. Earlier in the day, there were two rallies. One was from outside from the opposed to the bill, and supporters of the bill gathered inside the rotunda moments before the veto overrides were to begin.
I'm here because trans rights are human rights. I'm here because everybody should have a bathroom that's easy to use. I'm here because we should be able to teach our kids basics about themselves.
And I'm proud of Kentucky for stepping up, standing up, and waking up to this ideology that's destroying lives. We cannot let them do it.
The bill becomes law with the overrides and sections detailing bathrooms and the use of pronouns take effect immediately. The gender transition rules take effect in 90 days. All of it's expected to face a legal challenge. Not only did the Republican-led Kentucky legislature override the governor's veto of Senate Bill 150, well, they voted to override all of his vetoes, including Senate Bill 65. The bill strikes down the governor's emergency order that expanded Medicaid coverage for dental, vision, and hearing care in the state. It impacts tens of thousands of Kentuckians who now do not have access to that form of health care. The impeachment of a former Commonwealth's attorney will now go to the full Senate. The Senate Impeachment Committee unanimously adopted the findings of fact from the House. Ronnie Goldie is accused of doing favors for a woman facing prosecution in exchange for nude photos. He resigned last month, but lawmakers say their job is to take his punishment further. It's the first impeachment in Kentucky in 135 years. It's not clear when the full Senate will hear the impeachment case. State Auditor Mike Harmon released a report yesterday that says the Elliott County Clerk is not fulfilling her duties. The report says auditors found 14 issues with Elliott County Clerk Jennifer Carter and her office. Some of those will be referred to the Attorney General, the Department of Revenue, and Department of Local Government for further review. Among the findings, the audit says Carter and her office submitted reports with errors in them, owes thousands of dollars in taxes to different state organizations, and has not settled fee accounts for 2019 or 2020. Well, thank you so much for getting your Thursday started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, the Biden administration decides to move ahead with a massive drilling auction that's set to sell millions of acres of water in the Gulf of Mexico.
And we're looking at one more nice day, but big changes head our way tomorrow. I'll track out the possible threats we could see Friday and Friday night in about 3 minutes.